We are on the road again, on the move, just like the sheep. Working our way through the Ellen Valley Mountain Road, which is one of my favourite roads in the world, especially this section. If you want to test your car's suspension, this road is the road to do it on. And the Rover passes with flying colours, very comfortable. So this weekend there's many things going on. I'm heading to S&G Barrett to have a play with their E-Type hopefully. Then tomorrow we're at Classic Motor Cars, also in Bridgnorth, where they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, but that's a working day and I'm working on a stand. Probably won't be much video from that. And Sunday we're at the Retro Rides Gathering back at Shelsley Walsh again. Retro Rides Gathering last year is where I took the 2CV up the hill and kept stripping parts off it to try and make it lighter and go quicker up the hill, which didn't really work. I'm not driving up the hill this year. I did toy with the idea of taking Tuk or the Mighty Dacia up, but in the end it's going to be a working day again. We're going to have HubNut merchandise, we're going to be selling retro Japanese stuff as well. There's going to be an awful lot going on. So yeah, that's going to be pretty full on. The biggest problem at the moment, I was meant to be borrowing the Mighty Dacia, especially as we now have Mighty Dacia merchandise. But the Mighty Dacia, Richard's reported, is making a horrible plonking noise this morning. Oh, it's fun this road when the trucks come along, yeah. So I'm off to see him now and see how that's looking and if it's actually going to happen. If it isn't, I will be going back home tomorrow night to pick Rachel up. Rachel's helping at the Retro Rides Gathering, and we will swap to the 2CV. The 2CV is our plan B. Rover's already been to Shelsley Walsh this year, so I think Ellie would like to go and not be thrashed up the hill this time. But yeah, it's 2 hours to where Rich lives, near enough, and we'll find out what's going on there. If he sends wind but all is not well, I might go straight to Bridgnorth. So all in all, a typical, only slightly planned weekend. Situation normal here at HubNut. By heck, it's the Lotus Esprit. Late 70s one by the look of it, with the SD1 rear lights. I'm having another game of upsetting the tourists by catching them up in unlikely motor cars. Look how low they are. I've driven an Esprit like that on ice. Try not to drive over it. Right, I just exchanged text messages with Rich while I posted off some HubNut merch, new sticker design, internal, and he reckons it's a CV joint, so I think I may chance it, but I'll go and see him and see how we feel. By the way, I've managed to fix the airbag light by doing nothing more than wiggling the connector beneath the seat, so we can consider that job done. Well, we're back aboard the Mighty Dacia once again, and I was just about to take it to a Jaguar specialist. I should amuse them. Richard's tightened up a couple of bolts on the gear change, and it doesn't feel quite as bad as it was before. It's still not happy about going into first, but still, it's an improvement. It is drizzling a bit today, which is annoying, but the wipers don't park, so you have to try and stop them in just the right place. But let's see how we get on. The other thing Rich has done is replace the distributor, because we were getting too much movement in the rotor arm, which was actually smacking around inside the Dizzy cam. So we've been sent another one by Paul Cunningham, who is quite well known in Renault circles. So thanks for that, Paul. And he managed to send that nice and quickly, and that's now been fitted. It did travel with me the last time I was out in this car, but we hadn't had a chance to fit it. So that's now been done. Rich reckons the ignition timing probably isn't bob on, so we'll see how she does. He's kindly left me a spanner so I can adjust it if needs be. Always inspires confidence. So really, we are kind of running the Dacia as people would have done in the day when they didn't have any money. We're not doing a very good job. We're not taking great care of the poor thing. We're just kind of limping her along at the moment. Got to do something about the running, which is the fact she's running rich, because I mean the idle's terrible and pals the plugs up in no time. But yeah, there's always other things to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to prioritise. Here comes the Ridge North turn. Remember when the indicators are. It's a lovely noise. It's always great when the gear knob comes off in your hand, isn't it? Fortunately, I managed to get second gear just before it came off. Yeah, quality. That gear knob is a pain in the backside. It's the only car I've ever encountered where the gear knob is an interference fit, not a screw fit. Not a great design. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. She conked out when we got here because she appears to have run out of fuel. At least we're hoping that's what's going on. The fuel filter is completely empty. And if I operate the primer... Oh no, there is... Oh, there was petrol there. Yeah, that's not drawing anything through now. Oops. Very embarrassing. Oh, well, well done, Dacia. That was a really convenient place to break down. Just keeps dropping out and then I've got nothing at all, and I'm trying to prime up the fuel. That's fine, we've got fuel coming through, but she won't bloody start, and then you end up jamming up everything and making everyone angry on a Friday evening when they're just trying to get home. This is not good. I've got no tools, so I can't do anything at the moment. Well, I haven't got no tools, I've got a screwdriver, that's not going to help. Ah, there we go. That's approaching running. I'm going to stay running while I shut the bonnet cap. It's not happy. No, that didn't work.
Are you alright?
There we go. Right, I want to get to the pub quick before it conks out again. Oh, good grief. It's not happy idle, it's just about idle, and I might have to force the idle up again, which I did earlier, but that's a job for tomorrow. I've reached a hotel. Right, that's Friday completed. Right, Mighty Dacia, not so mighty, won't start again, trying to see if she'll actually start on camera, because she usually does. No, almost. No. Oh! We could give it a go. Try some bumpage.
Yeah.
We can do a few laps, can't we?
We can.
Where's that van going? No, don't just stop there. Oh, if they're going the wrong way around the car park, so can we. Make sure the ignition's on. Make sure the door doesn't fly open. There we go. Bump start success. Just like old times. I have today placed an order through someone we met at Dacia Fest to try and get some bits. So hopefully this won't keep happening, because frankly it's ridiculous. Right, now we've got to go to a posh Jaguar do. Right, so we've had the oil pressure light coming on at tick over, which I'm not very happy with, so I thought I'd better have a check of the oil. That appears to be, invisibly, because it won't start in focus, bone dry. I think I'd better go and see if I can find some oil. Proving to be much more stressful than a Romania trip, really, isn't it? At least it's somewhere pretty to have a pause. This is Lane-Twadine in the Shropshire borders. I think it's Shropshire, it might be Herefordshire. No 2050, having to make do with 1040, but it'll do, it's just topping up. I'll be leaving that to, I'll just put a load in, we'll let that settle. And, unnecessarily oily cap, really. I see. It only goes on one way, that's intriguing. No? Ah, there we go. Right, that's the cap back on. Now I can lubricate myself. That's a bit more like it. Seem to have got the oil pressure going gaga on idle again. Now I know I filled up with oil that was too thin, but it's a little concerning, as it's been stuck behind bloody modern cars but won't get a shift on. Momentum is everything for a Dacia up a hill. Yeah, I'm slightly alarmed. I mean, we already have suspicions that the oil pressure gauge is not reading correctly, so it could be lies, or it could be not. We just don't know. I'm starting to wish there wasn't an oil pressure gauge, because now I'm looking at it, it seems too low. Which, to be honest, it has done since we picked it up about 3,000 miles ago. So, yeah, scary times. Well, we made it home, but we've got some thinking to do. Not very happy with the allegedly low oil pressure. Well, it's interesting how much better it's running. Now I've disconnected the vacuum hose, which is what you should do when you're checking the ignition timing. Now I've been playing with the distributor a bit, and you can see that bolt head, that is the timing mark, and that looks to be about where it should be. You can see the mark on the crankcase, so that appears to be all well and good. But if I try connecting this pipe, not a happy engine. She was running, but yeah, so something looks to be wrong with the vacuum advance, but it is advancing, I can see that. Let's go and see if we can start her up again. Make sure that hose is off. Yeah. Right. Come on, Mighty Dacia, be mighty. Almost. So we've got oil pressure. I can try and put the lights on. Oh, there we go. Very slightly brighter. Still not great oil pressure. but it's behaving as it should, and we haven't got a light. And that's with the, I've managed to lower tick over with it in this happier form. Not quite sure how I'm going to show you this strobe and rev the engine at the same time. I've run out of hands. Let's see if I can rev it up and then get the strobe back on. I think you can just about see the bolt coming back into view. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of reading up and see whether we can get away with just not having that hose attached, because that could be a solution. Also, isn't it just the loudest fan in the world? You really can see why they started using viscous fans that don't go around at engine speed unless they're needed. Right, it's a bit dark for doing this sort of shizzle, really. Rear wiper. Oh, look at the speed. Let's go for a test drive and see how she does. Well, it's getting mighty dark in here, but seems to be pulling all right. Yeah, I'd say that's pulling better than it was earlier. There we go, she's nice and hot. As we can see, the indicator light only works occasionally when it feels like it. I think I'm just going to say that's good enough. We've got a show to go to. Right, it is just after 7 o'clock in the morning. We need to go to the Retro Rides gathering. Make sure not in gear. Usual. Oh no, let's see if we can get the ignition back. There we go. Now I've got some ignition lights. That makes me feel better. Aha! We have life. That's quite impressive. Well, we're well on our way to the Retro Rides gathering, and I'm joined by Mrs. HubNut, who is thrilled to be awake this early on a Sunday.
Absolutely.
But is demonstrating some of the clothing we have available.
A t-shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing the Mighty Dacia one, covered up by a seatbelt. But yeah, we seem to be doing alright this morning. Well, yeah. Slightly alarming drive shaft noises.
Yeah, a bit scary on the bends.
Yeah. So what do you make of the Mighty Dacia?
It's quite comfortable. It smells of petrol.
Yeah, it does that.
Yeah. Got to trade off between opening the window for ventilation and then having to get the damn thing closed again.
Yeah, that window doesn't like closing.
And the swearing when the fuses fall out is getting a bit terrible.
Oh yeah, every time I hit the brakes, the second fuse loses its connection. Hold on, we're going to take a tractor. There was a nice red tractor. I don't know much about tractors. Yeah, would you have liked to join us on our mighty adventure from Romania?
Petrol smell would have got to me after a bit.
It is quite bad. We really do need to look into that. There's many things we've failed to look at in the 2 months since we got home. That is just one of them. Anyway, we've got actual sunshine.
Yeah.
So
that's doing interesting things in the picture.
We shall get to the show and set up. We're just improving the electrics because when the gauges drop out, which happened a lot, we ended up losing the brake lights as well. But Mrs. HubNut reckons she's got the situation under control.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know, this might or might not be the problem, mightn't it?
Well, maybe we can try squeezing up the contacts a bit as well.
That as well.
But there appears to be people everywhere. I probably should go and deal with that. Right, we are leaving Retro Rides silently because it won't start, but it is going to start down this. If I'm not in reverse.
Might be in reverse.
So there we go, we've learned always start on a hill. There. That's the chap who organises the Auto Retro Show, but it's taking place in Margate. I've just remembered I'm recording. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to drive that far yet. We'll find out one day. Right, let's drive home. Oh, we've gone all dark. There we go. So we're almost back at swapping to the Rover, which can be interesting getting all this stuff in the back. But the good news is the electrics appear to be fixed. The drive to Retro Rides this morning was blighted by the dials and the brake lights packing up at regular intervals, seemingly every time I hit the brake pedal. And if I rotated the fuse, everything came back. That was fun to do on the move.
Yeah, just before a bend every time.
Yeah. Well, that's because you brake for bends.
Yes, quite. It was a bit scary.
Yeah. But Mrs. HubNut has fixed the problem successfully, which is good. So I'm handing over a better Dacia to Rich. It's running better, albeit it still didn't want to start. But that's alright because he lives on a hill. And the electrics are fixed. So, right. We shall swap to the Rover, which will be quieter. Yeah, it's going to take ages. Oh, here goes. We are now discovering that what fits easily in a Dacia does not fit easily in a Rover saloon. Experiments are continuing. And we've done it. We've managed to get everything out of the Dacia into the Rover. And even better, some of us have tea. So we've just had a lovely dinner in Ludlow, and first time I've been into the centre of Ludlow for a while. It is very, very pretty, even with all these cars parked all over the square. Wonder how we get out. We had directions to get us in. We can't go that way, that's no entry. What we didn't get was directions on how to get back out again. But nonetheless, we shall enjoy Ludlow, and head home, because it's been yet another busy weekend. So this is fun. Where's the road going? It's a bit of a whiteout. No road markings. Make it extra fun. Oh, finally we are home. There is a fox. Pretty sure it's a fox. So yeah, we got back late last night, quite exhausted. I'm sure these weekends have taken it out of my beard. There appears to be grey in it. But yeah, we got back. We've left the Dacia with Rich, and it started just before we left, so that was encouraging. He's going to carry out a service, and we've got some bits on the way. New drive shaft, carburetor rebuild kit, and a fuel pump, in the hope we can actually get it running properly, because that would be quite a novelty. And really, we've done, you know, embarrassingly little with that poor car since we got back. There is other Mighty Dacia news. We have Mighty Dacia merchandise. T-shirts available at hubnut.org. These will be a limited edition. We don't plan to get any more of those made up, so get them while you can. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.